Hey everybody, welcome back to my March bench update. Yes, it's March already, and wearing my Tamio t-shirt for the first time, especially for this vlog of recording, since I was picked up from the Tamio store, 3 months ago now. I can't believe it's 3 months since I was in Japan, it's gone so quickly. This month, decidedly a Star Wars theme. Yes, I did print myself an awesome Stormtrooper blaster, which we'll talk about in a little bit, and a bunch of other Star Wars stuff, plus a couple old friends come back, a 32nd scale aircraft I started working on as well, which don't think I talked about last month. So we'll talk about that too. Got aircraft projects, some Star Wars stuff, some figure painting. Shock horror, I don't paint figures, but there's some figure painting, and let's get started with that, I guess. So in progress, been super busy here in the workshop, being very productive. These are good cleans. I've got so many different projects, I need to just clean things away and just kind of get things back in order again. But I think you remember me talking that, print, looking around here, I can't find them, but like 48 scale little figures I've been printing, like resin printing. Black Skullforge and Black Remnant. There's some really good STL files online, pretty cheap too. And obviously, being 3D printing, you can go put your slicer and you can make it any size you want. So instead of a little 48 scale, I thought, let's try something in 16th scale, kind of like an armor size, and print the 16th scale. So this is Captain Enoch from the Ahsoka series. Obviously, just printed. Nothing really to see there. But I printed one or two of these out and thought, that's a really cool size. It's kind of nice for display because it's not like you're doing, better than, they look better than, even my crude painting skills, they look better than Kenner figures. And they're not super tiny. So actually, they're really good 16th scale. So I printed him out, and I printed out one of his like zombie stormtroopers out too. Again, these haven't been painted. Put this back so I keep it organized. And then came across this file from Skullforge. It's a modern Mando. So basically it's Mandalorian, but in like modern kind of US military kind of get up there. And so I just literally did a Zenvil highlight, primed it, and just Zenvil highlight ready for paint. I thought that's a really cool figure. Printing a 16th scale, it actually worked really good against something. I don't know, maybe I could definitely find something, maybe like a little car or something, or some kind of. I was thinking maybe like a Baghdad or Middle Eastern kind of wall, with him kind of going down. It's just an interesting kind of mix of, modern and sci-fi kind of thing. But modern Mando, super cool. Again, that was about $5, I think, to buy the STL. And resin-wise, I print all these hollow. So I put hollow them all out. They're going to be solid, and so it costs less than $1 in resin to print each one. Now, I did print two, which I'm very happy with. I'm not sure the camera's going to pick these out very well, but two Jawas. So I had these files already in 48, so I printed these again in 16th scale and printed these off and painted it again, amazing quality. So I'm using a Saturn 3 Ultra, which is a 12K printer. Not that it makes much difference, I don't think. I'm using the cheapest resin I can find on Amazon, the Sunglu. It's like $32 for 2 kilos for a big bottle. And factory settings, and I'm getting this off the bat already, and just see how cool they are, right? The Jawas. So yeah, so painted these up, little edge highlighting and stuff, a little bit of a wash. Again, I'm not a figure painter, but there we go. And the great thing about these Star Wars ones are there's no faces or eyes, like helmets and stuff, so it's good for me. So yeah, really happy how these two turned out. And again, really good size, as you can see, head for scale. 16th scale, it's just a really cool size to print these out on, just fool around with. So did these guys, put them over here out the way. And then I also printed, I think I've been working on this for a few weeks now, so I might have talked about this before, a TIE bomber. So I got the file for a TIE bomber, and I scaled it to 48 scale. And there she is, painted with Tamiya XF paints. I think 66 is the the color for the gray blue, and then just rubber black for the solar panels on the wings. TIE bomber, cool looking one. I'm always tempted by the Lego set, actually. It's really cool. It's in Walmart clearance right now as well. But good size. And for anyone who thinks that this is modeling, I mean, I spent a lot of time on this. So this came in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 parts, I think. But these are 2 parts, and had to glue them together, epoxy them together, then seam lines. So spent a ton of time filling and sanding, all that kind of stuff. Normal model making skills, painting it, masking up all the wings, painting, post shading, washes, the full thing. So dry brushing. So this took a lot of time. It's a good week's worth of work. And the wings originally came in 2 parts, but had like a seam line down the middle. So there's no way of getting rid of the seam line because of detail on here. So I reached out to the guy who I bought this from, and he gave me the wing as one piece because I fooled around with like Mesh Mixer and Tinkercad and stuff. I just couldn't figure out CAD how to join two parts. Now I do know how to do it. So he kindly sent me files again for the wings in one piece. And being having a Saturn 3, which is the Ultra, which is bigger, I could print this easily in one piece. For like 4 or 5 hours, I think it took to print the wings. But yeah, there we go. So cool, right? I mean, you can go to town, put lights and stuff in here, but this is my first ever kind of 3D printed subject, and really happy how it turned out. Now, no stand or anything yet, because I'm thinking, I enjoyed doing this, and I thought over time I might like to do the whole TIE fleet, TIE fighter, the TIE interceptor, the advanced TIE fighter, and maybe have them all on one kind of base, with acrylic rods or something. So for now, it's just loose printed, but yeah, I think that's really cool. So that's my TIE bomber. And then finally, literally just finished this morning, is this guy, the Stormtrooper E11 Blaster. Now, I love this thing, and it looks like I finished a lot of projects here, but I bought this STL back on Black Friday from Galactic Armory. It was a 50% off deal, so it's like, I think it was like $7 instead of 15 or something, and got the files, and I've been printing these over the past few weeks, just casually. And I printed all in plastic originally, if you remember. I never showed you all the parts. And then when I got my resin prints, I upgraded some stuff. So, some stuff like, so for example there, the numbers and didn't come out very good in plastic printing, so I resin printed it. And for me, it's amazing that from liquid resin and basically plastic string, you can get this at the end of the day. So again, this is a lot of work. Came in about 50 parts, getting it all put together. Now, learning Tinkercad, for example, like some of these parts, like this component here, or the magazine, it was about 5 or 6 parts going into one thing. So I thought, rather than dealing with like tolerances and gluing stuff together, I made them as one unit. So I bolted them together into one STL and then just printed them out as sub-assemblies. So 1, 2, that guy, 3, the scope printed out. So I printed out like more, less pieces, and then it's a mixture. So the barrel's plastic. FDM printed. I put instructions. I went to Home Depot and picked up a 1/2-inch wooden dowel, and that's down the center of it basically to give some rigidity. And this is pretty heavy too. I mean, this is going to weigh probably a couple of pounds at least. Oh, this dowel just fell on the floor. But it's pretty heavy. I mean, it's rigid, and it came out awesome. So I just primed it with Duplicolor filler primer from Amazon, like $12. Went to Home Depot, got the cheapest can of the own brand black matte spray paint. It was like $2.48. Sprayed it all matte black, and then just with some Vallejo silver Model Air, dry brushed the hell out of it basically to give it the weathered effect, and picked out some of the details here. And that was it. I mean, that's it. I got myself a really cool Stormtrooper blaster. Now, I did meet a friend for dinner last night, and I took it with me to show him, and I realized the parking lot maybe not be a great idea to pull this out and start swinging around and stuff. I have the cops showing up, but it was no problem. So we discreetly showed him, and yeah, really happy with this guy. I mean, how cool is that? I mean, E11 Blaster. Now, I do have the full Stormtrooper, helmet and armor and stuff I could print if I wanted to. Not sure if I'm going to do that right now, but anyway, there's the E11, know its glory, and just a cool. I could just run around the backyard just pretend shooting things with this. It's awesome. So that's the blaster, and that kind of rounds off all the Star Wars shenanigans of the past month. So a lot of Star Wars stuff going down. Pretty much my resin printer, it's just Star Wars stuff. That's all I really print on it right now, to be honest with you. I'll get more into it with other stuff as we get along. It's definitely messy. I got that annoying little sticky residue everywhere from touching stuff, white gloves. So I've had to, get a lot of IPA and wipe stuff down. The whole place needs to go clean, to be honest with you. But yeah, enjoying it. Again, I've only got my printer 2 months ago, so I'm newbie learning it. And, the fact I can multimedia print something like this, and build this, and again, I'm a rookie. I think if I can do it, pretty much anyone can do it, really. So yeah, so there we go. So back to the aircraft, which I know most of you are kind of interested in. So started with the ICM 72nd scale MiG-25, I think it is. So got this guy put together. A lot of parts go into this very complex build, and just basically put the paint down. I think it's XF. I can't remember the color, 80 maybe. So the base colors are down. Not exactly happy with how I got like the metal finish at the back. I'm going to work on that a little bit more. And there's some more detail painting to go down too. But yeah, it's a nice detailed kit. There's not much in the way of rivet detail. A typical ICM really. Panel lines are very finely done, nice. And it is a cool aircraft with massive burner cans on the back as well. So this one's coming along nicely. Haven't worked on this for a few days because I was working to get that blaster finished. But yeah, so I'm next upcoming month I'll get this one finished. Again, just some detail painting and then decals and weathering and build the gear and the weapons, that kind of stuff. So we're pretty far along with this one. So working on this and then working on another one. An old friend is back. I got inkling, so I went to the attic and pulled out my 32nd scale F-14 again. As you know, it's been on and off for months now, and I did get the wings not only built but painted. Lower light ghost gray, dark ghost gray. Got the leading edge done. Still got to paint the slime lines and stuff like that, but the base paint's done. With mottling effect going on there, and got the other wing done. And it's funny, one wing compared to a 32nd scale Tomcat compared to a 72nd scale MiG-25, it's almost the same size. It's hilarious. So there are the two wings. Let me put this guy down. And then here's the fuselage. Not much has happened to this in terms of adding anything to it, but I've just spent a lot of time taking care of these gnarly, all the seam lines and stuff. I've spent a lot of time, and it's almost seamless now at the back here. You see bits of primer gone down just to check my work. But there's a few little areas here and there to work on. But generally, like there's no seam line down the side anymore. I've beaten this thing with submission and we're looking in good shape. So yeah, so a reason I painted the wings, the way this assembles, you got a panel that goes on top and that needs a little bit of filling and work too. So I really got to put the wings, maybe wrap the wings in some like saran wrap or cling film, install it, glue everything around it, and then paint it, and then I can just take the tape off the wings and it should hopefully be good to go. But there's no other way around it really, this one. The way this was designed, you got to put those wings in and build around it. So it's easier to paint the wings separately than it is on the aircraft. So it's massive. Remember, I put those redope pilot figures in. I got the Red Fox cockpit instrument set. Got the full shebang going on this one. So this will be in Tomcatters markings. I did build and paint the tails. They're all painted black. Painted the stabilizers are all painted. So it's box down here is still full of plastic. There's all the weapons, all the gear, the burner cans, all kinds of stuff left to do on this. A lot of work, but my main goal is really get this thing along and out the boring stuff of filling and sanding, and I've almost done that. Just again, probably just a couple of hours work just to finish off down the bottom here, and then we can start getting the wings on, building up around it, canopy on, masting on, and then just prime the paint and get this thing moving along. I don't know where I'm going to put it. This is probably one that probably sell right away. It's massive, as you can see. Unless it turns out super awesome, and then I'll find a space up there or somewhere for it for sure. But yeah, the amazing looking F-14. So that's what I've been working on, as you can see, and finished. And I've been busy. That's a lot of different projects. Again, all these Star Wars things, in between, stuff, working on these. And to be honest with you, those Jawas, I had to work like an hour-long Teams meeting I had to listen to for work. And, I wasn't really participating. I was just listening in. So I thought, rather than just sitting in my office, I just brought my laptop in here as a studio, and I actually just painted those Jawas while listening to my meeting. It was just kind of relaxing. So, yeah, so a little bit painting, but main focus, I think, upcoming month, get the MiG-25 finished. Get more work on the F-14. That's like a long-time project on a back burner, and probably start another aircraft as well. I've got so many great ones to choose from. I'm not sure yet, but that leads nicely into what I've purchased the past month. So start off with the smaller stuff, the sundries, and picked up from AZ Hobby. I always thought it in Arizona, but it's not Arizona. I think it's just the name is AZ. I'm not sure where they are, but they have all the display products at a good price if you're in the US. And I've had this before, told you guys this, the black filler from Display. I've used this for at least a year, if not 2 years now. My bottle's still 2/3 full, but now it's kind of, I used it on this, it's shrinking, so I think it's kind of gone off. It's old, but it does work really well. So I got the black one, and they also did a white one, and I always thought it's the same thing, just different color depending on what you're building. But it turns out, I believe that black's for smaller areas and longer seam lines use the white. So I've never used this yet, so I got the white to try. So a big fan of black. It's basically just a medium viscosity CA glue. which is black colored. But again, it works great. So I mean, yeah, and these are like $3.95 each, I think. So not amazingly, expensive. They're pretty reasonably priced. So I got the black one again, got the white one. So I'll give those a whirl over the upcoming weeks and months. Got a decal sheet. You probably see my review, and last month I picked that Edward SU-25 up. Didn't really want to do any of those markings on there, even though it was a limited edition boxing, some great markings. I got it cheap, on Sprue Brothers deal of the day, but nothing really kind of spoke to me. But I really liked the Digicamera Ukrainian version right here. So I picked up a decal set. This was reasonably priced, and it's basically Ukrainian aircraft at war 2022. So you got the SU-25, you got MiG-29, SU-27, which I have in 48 scale as well, the Great War Hobbies one, and you have an SU-24. And you also have looks like a drone or something as well. But picked up these markings because, with decals, if you see decals, pick them up because they always sell quickly, limited run, and then years later you can never find them. You're searching eBay, paying ridiculous pricing and stuff. This was like $14.95, I think. Kagaru decals, they do this in 72nd scale too, so I might be tempted to pick that one up. But the thing I didn't realize until I got it, the decals. Now the decals are pretty straightforward, just Ukrainian emblems and markings and stuff, which look decent, no problem at all. But what really caught my eye was the instruction book. Now with decals, I mean, look at like Caracal decals. You get like a little like A5 size piece of paper, black and white. Here you got full color, like beautiful, almost artwork. I mean, it's so nice. Instructions. Every aircraft, you see, you got this big printout in full color. I mean, this one would cost cheap to print all this out for every aircraft these decals belong to. It's just really nice. I mean, I'm not seeing, this might be the nicest kind of set of decals I've ever seen, to be honest with you, in terms of the instructions, because of the markings. And again, just beautiful, nice paper as well, shiny paper, brilliantly colored. So yeah, Kagero, Kagero, K-A-G-E-R-O decals. Yeah, very impressed with those. So I'm not sure how they go down, but whether I build the SU-25, which I'll Digicamo, which I'll do some point, or maybe even the SU-27. Again, I've got the Great War Hobby kit with the Ukrainian markings. So that was just something really caught my eye, but looked really, good quality product there. So not very expensive again for decals, $14.95. Got it from Sprue Brothers, and yeah, Ukrainian markings. All right, this is going to be about out left field. This is a classic kit, and I swore I'd never do 72nd scale Warbirds, but picked up the Corsair. Now, I've done a little review of this one too. Now, it's this Tambia's classic kit from 24 years ago now, I think it is. But bought this for 3 reasons. I mentioned the same 3 reasons on the review video. Price. It was like $18 to $20, really cheap. And nowadays, kits getting so expensive. Like Great War Hobbies, Tomcat F-14D has I think it's a MSRP of $180. It's ridiculous. Kits are getting so expensive now. I, for one, definitely cut back a little bit in terms of what I look at and cost. I don't go crazy and buy tons of stuff. And again, this one priced at less than $20, and I picked up a Quintus Studios cockpit set. Same time, it was like $5. I mean, it has the seat belts included. I mean, it's so cheap. I mean, the Quintus Studio set for the Prowler was like $50. So $5 is cheap. And then I got some resin, like flaps for it with some gum damage and drop flaps. That was like $11. I mean, so it's so cheap. I mean, it's Tamiya classic Tamiya kit. Good mojo builder, a couple of sprues. But so price is one thing. Second thing, space. I don't have space for I do have, you see right here, the 32nd scale Tamiya Corsair, just off the camera there. They take up a lot of space, big stuff. And lastly, I don't know why, but when I look at my stuff behind me, the semi-second scale stuff is always stuff I really enjoy looking at, and just I don't think I'd ever sell. Like got the Tornado GR4 there. I converted that. That's the not the FX kit. It was the Revell kit I converted with a bunch of resin. Love that thing, that little dial with the pilots walking and stuff. Great War Hobbies F-14D. Again, love that, and the little dial base. and just recently the Fine Mods F-14A and aggressor markings. Those kind of ones, I love looking at those. Even the Buccaneer, the Airfix Buccaneer, which is I think up there somewhere. I can't see it, but those semi-second scale kits, I just like looking at them. I like for whatever reason, maybe because it's small and it's more interesting. I just don't know. So I thought, let me test the waters. I mean, normally 32nd scale is my warbird size. Last month I did, I did a 48th scale Hurricane, and now we'll give a shot at the semi-second scale one. Now, there's canopy size and everything like that. It's the same as a MiG-25 I just built. I mean, if I could mask canopy with like that, I'm not gonna have a problem with this one. So yeah, so I can give that a go and see how we go with a semi-second scale warbird. And not too many parts either. Finally, which you guys seen this one already in my video, hopefully, this kit, Meng's Apache, the Israeli one, the DI. Great kit. Doing a comparison video too compared to the TACAM kit. So I bought a TACAM kit, and spoiler alert, I'm selling that. I got on eBay selling it and got the Meng one instead. The Meng's just a nicer build for me. It's less complicated. It's just, you get the mask set included, the decals, a cartograph, less photo etch. I think TACAM had three, 4 frets of photo etch. This has like 2 parts of photo etch. I hate photo etch. So for me, this is a much better thing. Also, it has a blade fold kit set. So the instructors don't mention it, but again, I mentioned in these videos, if you go to ScaleMates and pull up the American D version, the previous boxing of Meng's, and get the instructions off ScaleMates, pages 46, 47, and 48, I think it is, explains how you can fold the blades, and all the parts are in the box, same number, like L5 or K6, whatever it is. You have the same sprues in this box, so you can do the blade fold. There's no way I can build a helicopter now. The blade's out in 35th scale. It's too big. It's like a massive square to store. So pick that guy up. Again, I think that's not a bad price. $88 for what you get. I think it's a pretty good deal. So, it's a cool looking, politics aside, it's a cool looking aircraft. I think, the Israeli one, it's just beefed up, especially the markings and stuff. I like this one better than the plain green Helo drab of the other versions. So that's kind of what I purchased and what I've been working on. What I want to do as well is, I'm not sure people are aware, I don't want to plug it too much, but I have a Patreon channel, and a lot of people mention why I don't do build videos. I still do. I do on Patreon every Wednesday. I do more of an in-depth video. So what I want to do is, again, Patreon, I think it's low as like $2 a month. You can go over there and join, and you can get all my content, backdated content. I say every Wednesday I do a video, and I get more in depth, talk about what I'm building, the colors, any problems I have with the kits. So I just want to put a little snippet in from a recent video of just kind of show you kind of the format and what I do on Patreon every Wednesday. 9:30, Hobby Town down the street opens at 10. So I'm going to run down there and hopefully pick up an XF80 so I get this thing painted. I'll take a put the foam in and then paint it. The base color. And then on the side, I put together and painted these massive burner cans here. Again, this is, this thing's a beast, right? Massive. I did notice here, got a little bit of touch up to do. Oh, I'm not focusing today for some reason. Sorry. Should watch the camera. So got to touch up a little bit here and there. But generally, yeah, these guys are done. And I have tested it. Once this is all painted, I'll just slot these in. And it will, I think it's upside down, but it will fit. But yeah, so complicated build on this one, as I mentioned before, but once it's all together, a quick little sand and seam lines and stuff, it's looking okay. And I think with all the weathering and stuff, it's going to hide a few of the imperfections here. I mean, I could spend hours like with the F-14 going through all these seams and stuff, but for this, I think I'm good to go. I mean, I could do more work on this, but you're not going to see it underneath the wing. So there we go. So that's what I'm working on. So like I said, I got to finish up a few things here, run to the store, hopefully get some XF80 and get painting with this one, and we'll go from there. Oh man, we had a ton of rain last night. So anyway, it's 10 o'clock, just opened up. So as promised, heading to Hobby Town to get some of this paint. Well, a job XF80, so I'm painting this MiG-25. So let's see what we've got going on inside here. One left, my lucky day, XF80. So there we go. So here's Hobby Town. I've done a video of this place before, I think, but it's mostly radio control stuff. There's a few model things, but it's actually really expensive. So, I mean, for tin of paint it's fine, but models and stuff, I mean, I pretty much go online. Okay, been busy at it painting and kind of close up the week here, kind of show what I've been up to. So took the F-14 wings, and this is the base coat. As I always do, Mr. Surfacer 1500 black, and using my AK stencil. I used to use a photo etch one, but this final one is way better. Kind of goes around curves and stuff. Just throw it down, spray white on, and then it's very stark white and black. So then I just take the white and then just mist over it to kind of blend it all in. So there we go. So again, I don't play it too much. It just really helps the channel out. The Patrons, again, support me and yeah, allow me to create great content and buy cool kits to show you guys, basically. So that being said, we'll flip to the other side. I want to get back to the community as always. And been lacking the last few months, but I did put a post up on my Facebook group for people to post any finished or in progress work they want showed on the show. So let's switch over to the computer and let's look at the people's finished or completed work. Okay, so over to the Facebook group and put a post up. Anybody wants to share any work to put it into this thread, and quite a few people responded, so happy to share your work. And as we go through here, I'm just going to click on these images and you can see this first one's from Paul. He didn't notate what it is, but it looks like some kind of bridge platoon kind of creating device, armor piece. I don't build armor, so I'm not sure exactly what it is. It looks maybe semi-second scale, I'm guessing. So looking for the pictures here. Yep, and you see, wow, see how massive. I mean, yeah, it looks, maybe it's bigger for semi-second scale, maybe it's 35th, but you can see there how it kind of unfolds, makes a bridge, nice weathering going on. Okay, very cool. Now, some people did put up very lot of pictures, so I'm just going to go through in the interest of time here just to pick out a few. Just one or two pictures for each person. Next one is when you stop with Camel with Snoopy. Looking very cool. Again, beautifully painted and weathered. Oh, I finally hear it. Yeah, so it was a 35th scale DAS work, M48A2 AVLB was the previous one. Another one for Paul is a 32nd scale TBM 3 Avenger. Again, beautifully painted and built. And then the other side. And he scratch built a trolley for the Torpedo 2, which again looks very awesome, and love the colors. Alright, next up, Frank's is 72nd scale Euro truck. Wow, yeah, awesome. Very cool. Again, 72nd scale, so it's not massive, and it's I say it's every month I've seen, but with armor, just a simple little base here just sets these pieces off so much. You can see, you know, create some detail like the resin for the puddle and the crater here, and just, yeah, amazing piece of work again at 72nd scale. All right, John's done his Trumpeter F-14D, converted from an A. Who doesn't love a Tomcat? Hey, beautiful. In the Jolly Roger markings. Being Tammy, this is going to be the 48 scale. Yep, very clean build, very nice. Sorry for all the scrolling here. Facebook. Again, yeah, wow. Crisp and clean, very nice. Next up, Andrew and his AFV Club 35th scale Striker mobile gun system. This is a cool piece of armor. This is something I've looked at this kit actually myself recently in the past. The thing I like about it too is no tracks on Strikers, so it makes so no building tracks, which is a lot easier for me having to deal with that. So again, this is beautiful. Nice work with the weathering to pick out all the bolts and the rivets, and a cool piece of kit for sure. Here's it from the other side. There's a lot of fans on here, isn't there? They're almost like computer, like CPU fans. Interesting. All right, next up, Paul with. Okay, I'm assuming this is. I think he earlier he did his piece of armor. I think this is 35th scale, so I'm assuming this Abrams is a 35th scale too. All right, Philip and his 35th scale rail gondola from Trumpeter. Wow, this is very cool too. This is not something you see often. And this will make a very nice diorama too behind an engine or on a piece of track here. Yeah, see all the bits and pieces in the back of the rail cars. Very cool. And all the wood effect. Yeah, I like this one. And this is interesting. I'm assuming the tent here, they're sleeping in a tent as a train went down, probably in cold conditions. And then you got the flat gun when needed. They would come out of the tent and get on the flat gun, I guess. Interesting. Never seen this before. This one's amazingly weathered too. Another great piece from Robert. This time's Meng's 35th scale British Mark V male with full interior, which is a shame because I don't think you can see much of the interior. But I mean, just the color on this is spot on. Beautiful work. And next up is Benjamin. Recently finished his Wingnut Wings Dolphin, which would be in 32nd scale, I'm guessing. And this is awesome too. Again, the base, grass tuff sticking through, but just really nicely created and painted thing. It's, yeah, just beautiful piece of aviation there. Very good. Good job. Now, there's a couple people didn't post in this post. I'm going to show their work anyway. So that's the post I created. And I'm just going to go through. So Murray put his 32nd scale Qatari Spitfire. Very cool. Nice. And there's one more, I think, up here. Yeah. Albert and his 72nd scale Academy F-104C. Now, this isn't a massive aircraft, so in the 72nd, this must be a bit of a tiddler. And yeah, the Widowmaker right there. So it's looking very awesome. Academy makes some great 72nd scale kits too. They make, actually, I very rarely come across a Academy kit that isn't good, to be honest with you. The M1A2 Abrams I built years ago, I mean, that must be the best armor kit I've ever built, to be honest with you. And there we go, the very skinny, rocket-like starfighter. Very cool. Right, there we go. Again, if you want to join, the link is in the show notes below. It's a free group. Just post any pictures or work or any questions or anything. A lot of people post questions to me on Facebook in the comments on YouTube and from videos from years ago. And I can't remember, what I've done last week, let alone 4 years ago. So if you do have questions about builds or techniques, if you post them in here on Facebook, it's a lot easier than on YouTube, and it's going to get your questions get answered better than a couple of words on a YouTube comment. But there we go. Okay, back to me. There we go. Great stuff as always, and as always, the link is below if you want to join. Free, it's Facebook, no cost. If you want to join and post your work, I'll gladly feature it in any upcoming shows. So that is really it, I think, for this month. Bumper video, a lot going on, and yeah, a lot of different projects, a lot of Star Wars stuff. But don't worry if you're into the aircraft. I got plenty of aircraft stuff on the go as well, and I'll pivot more to the aircraft stuff as we get into spring and throughout the year. So thank you for watching as always. Appreciate your support, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.